ABS, or Access and Benefit Sharing, is a worldwide project initiated during the Nagoya Protocol of 1993.
The Earth's biological resources are vital to humanity's economic and social development. As a result, there is a growing recognition that biological diversity is a global asset of tremendous value to present and future generations.
It was convened in the first of its kind Biodiversity Convention that included 120 countries in Rio de Janeiro.
Our aim is to protect the biodiversity and of course to protect the incomes of the people. For instance, in Andhra Pradesh in the south, we have worked closely with the government and the local communities and with the Chief Minister of the state. For centuries, these communities have depended on forest for their livelihood. They collect medical plants, cashews and tamarind for sale in local markets. We help people in Andhra Pradesh collect more sustainably and help them to get a better price and a better livelihood.
The goals of the convention were the conservation of biological diversity or biodiversity, the sustainable use of its components, and the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from genetic resources.
India has been a party to this summit after 1992 and has consistently been implementing various aspects of it to strengthen institutional framework to implement the Biodiversity Act.
Its Indian chapter began making its presence felt through the National Biodiversity Act and Authority created in 2002.
Today, India has an institutional structure to implement the Access and Benefit Sharing mechanism. The National Biodiversity Authority was established in 2003 at the apex level, which is working closely with the state biodiversity boards in 29 provincial states. The biodiversity management committees at the local level is to ascertain and implement the access and benefit sharing which arise from the use of bioresources and to ensure fair and equitable benefit sharing among the stakeholders.
But when it comes to ABS in India, the story in its entirety cannot be told without talking about the first movers. The pioneers who were already working out ABS mechanisms before the official implementation was even called for. ABS represents the equitable sharing of natural resources with its people, thereby empowering local communities from whose environment these resources are sought. This is a film about the trailblazers who are setting standards when it comes to empowering people.
Access and benefit sharing is one of the most important elements of UNCBD. The UNEP GEF MOEFCC ABS project is one of the first global projects on access and benefit sharing administered by this ministry and National Biodiversity Authority of India.
Prior to ABS, any person or company could source a bioresource and make a business and profit from it, without the consideration of the people in the region. What this meant, more often than not, is that only large corporations with the means to source, research, and facilitate sales would benefit from natural bioresources, while the people of the region are left empty-handed. This also encourages businesses to thrive on profits without a concern for the environment around which they seek these bioresources. The ABS mechanism is therefore crucial for sustainable use of our environmental resources to ensure livelihoods and empower people the world over for a better tomorrow. Back in 1999, before the advent of ABS in India and the Biodiversity Act itself, one institute was already working to empower people through the equitable sharing of resources. The IIOR, or the Indian Institute for Oilseed Research, was called upon to help the farmers of the Mahabubnagar and Nalgonda areas of what was then the state of Andhra Pradesh. The farmers were in dire straits owing to loss of their castor crop due to a certain pest. It seemed resistant to any of the pesticides they had. IIOR jumped into the issue under the aegis of Dr. Varaprasad with the help of the farmers and created a solution to overcome the problem.
Indian Institute of Oilseed Research has a very strong plant protection division, and the scientists from this division have done research on different isolates that control the insects. These are called biopesticides, and these biopesticides have been isolated and brought to a stage where it can be commercialized. So then when we saw the ABS guidelines, Access and Benefit Sharing Guidelines in 2014, we thought we bring these guidelines applicable to these inventions that have been made at the Institute.
Dr. Vimala Devi, principal scientist, was instrumental in the discovery of the solution through the bacteria known as Bacillus thuringiensis variety Kurstaki.
This technology actually is for the management of insect pests through eco-friendly pest management. Here we have taken the pure culture of Devor BT1 and we have prepared the seed culture, that is the overnight seed culture, which we inoculate into media which we are keeping in the tubs. That means the media is transferred to tubs and the inoculum is added and then mixed well and incubated for 72 hours at 30 degrees centigrade. And once this incubation is complete, we are extracting the BT spores and crystals in water. Then we are centrifuging at 10,000 RPM, so we can get the pure pellet containing spores and crystals. This pure pellet is then actually mixed into an inert carrier like kaolin or bentonite, and we are adding a wetting agent also. This is mixed well and dried at room temperature, and this particular material after drying is ground in a mixie and then stored in polythene covers at room temperature.
It was this pioneering effort that led to eco-friendly solutions leading to better yields and livelihoods for farmers, while also providing for a better environment without the use of toxic chemicals that are usually abound in regular pesticides. She takes us through what it means to discover, test, patent, and provide for a solution that is for the betterment of humanity at large.
So BT formulation developed at Devor, we have taken it to field trials in the farmers field, and also we have trained the farmers regarding the correct stage of the pest to be sprayed on that. Before and after that we have taken data and we have shown the results to the farmers. So where the normal insecticide where they sprayed, so the parasitoid incidence was very less.
This is where the Telangana State Biodiversity Board comes in, taking over from the groundwork set in place by IIOR and helping incorporate the framework set by the National Biodiversity Act to establish a fair and equitable sharing of these bioresources.
One of the basic mandate of Telangana Biodiversity Board is to constitute BMCs at village panchayat level, Zilla Parishad level and municipality level. So far we are able to constitute about 2,200 BMCs in the state. We want to cover mainly the areas which are nearer to the forest and having more biodiversity.
The work of IIOR helped ease the ABS systems into play when it comes to Kurstaki and the people of Telangana. It helped to get the ball rolling and set a precedent on the fair and equitable sharing of bioresources. This makes IIOR and the Telangana State Biodiversity Board pioneers when it comes to empowering people through ABS. Thanks to ABS, the farmers not only have a solution for their problems, but their lives are further enriched by the additional income from their bioresources. The NBA, or National Biodiversity Authority, has been instrumental in implementing ABS in India through its state biodiversity boards. Some pioneers such as the IIOR and the then Andhra Pradesh Biodiversity Board and now the Telangana State Biodiversity Board have paved the way for ABS. In some other cases, there are local communities at the grassroots levels that are reaching out to the opportunity that is ABS to provide for a sustainable future.
As regards ABS, We are in the process of convincing the industries to apply for the agreements, and so far 32 applications have been received. We are processing the same, and 18 agreements have already been signed.
Our next story showcases empowered people through ABS and is about a local community from the village of Koringa in state of Andhra Pradesh. Surrounded by the Koringa Wildlife Sanctuary on the eastern coast of India, the village of Koringa, along with its Sarpanch, have come forth to embrace ABS mechanisms with the help of the Andhra State Biodiversity Board.
One of the main functions of the Biodiversity Act or the Biodiversity Board is to constitute the biodiversity management committees for conservation, protection and development of bioresources.
These empowered people are already making a difference to their lives and livelihood. Thanks to their open-mindedness in adopting ABS practices for betterment of their economy and environment.
ఇప్పుడు వరకు మేము నేర్చుకున్న దాని ఆధారాన్ని బట్టి జీవ వైవిధ్య పరిరక్షణ అలాగే సుస్థిర వినియోగం అలాగే రాబోయే తరాల వారికి వీటిని అందించి దాని ద్వారా వచ్చే లాభాల ద్వారా మేము మా పంచాయతీ అభివృద్ధి జరుగుతుంది. అలాగే మా పంచాయతీలో కూడా ఒక మెడికల్ గార్డెన్ తయారు చేసి రాబోయే తరాల వారికి అందించడానికి కృషి చేస్తాం.
The Coccinia grandis is a wild and inedible vegetable that grows in the open fields in these villages. Thanks to the efforts of Kumari Dadalarani and the villagers, they are on the verge of enjoying the benefits from the sale of these, which are used by a local Ayurvedic company that is amongst the top 10 largest Ayurvedic manufacturers in the country.
Andhra Pradesh Prabhutam వారి యొక్క జీవన వైవిధ్య చట్టం, జీవన వైవిధ్య బోర్డు వారి యొక్క పర్మిషన్ తీసుకుని మేము వనమూలికలు కొనుగోలు చేయడం, వారికి సెస్ చెల్లిస్తుండడం, ఆ వనమూలికల యొక్క ఏమేమి వనమూలికలు ఏ నెలలో సేకరించామో నెలవారీ సెస్, దాని స్టేట్మెంట్స్ అవన్నీ రెగ్యులర్గా సబ్మిట్ చేస్తూ జీవన వైవిధ్య చట్టానికి లోబడే మేము వనమూలికలు సేకరిస్తున్నాం.
Access and benefit sharing is a mechanism the company will give a share to the BMC from where the bioresource is being exploited. The interested company will approach the Biodiversity Board and they submit an application stating that they want to extract certain bioresources from certain areas for certain specific purposes.
The benefits are already trickling in. With the community coming forward and the formation of the LBF or the Local Biodiversity Fund, they have already planted 2,000 trees to help preserve their environment from erosion. Under ABS, the community has already come forward with its PBR or list of available biodiversity resources in the area and are looking to make use of the ABS mechanisms for more bioresources. In lieu of this, there is a plan to also develop a medicinal garden using traditional knowledge combined with inputs from the Kakinada College. Villagers talk about potential of tapping in to traditional bio-knowledge through local shamans who have been healing for centuries.
మేము చేసి మొదలుపెట్టి ఇప్పుడే ఒక 25 సంవత్సరాలు పైన అవుతుంది. మా దగ్గర ఔషధాలు భస్మాలు ఒక 16 రకాల భస్మాలు తయారు చేస్తాం. ఒక 20 రకాల కల్తీ ఔషధాలు తయారు చేస్తాం. మా మందులు వాడి సంతానం కలిగిన వాళ్ళు కూడా చాలామంది ఉన్నారండి. అలాగే షుగర్ కానీ బీపీ కానీ ఎక్కువ పెరాలసిస్ వచ్చిన వాళ్ళకి బాగా పనిచేస్తాయండి. ఆయుర్వేద మందులు ఎక్కువ బాగా వాడతారు వాళ్ళు.
Koringa is the first BMC with ABS in East Godavari, thanks to the efforts of dedicated individuals who are pioneers in their own right. Keeping in mind their dedication, they have also begun to access the other benefits of ABS. Keeping in mind their surroundings, it is essential for them to preserve the landscape and not lose it in the name of development. The people are conscious to develop, yet want to do so sustainably. It is for these reasons that they must commercialize the available bioresources so that they can progress hand in hand with their environment. The people of Karinga are empowered and a perfect example to the rest of the country on how we all can work towards a better future. The efforts at Karinga ensure that the people have better lives and livelihood, and most of all, development. Yet, not at the cost of the environment, but while benefiting it as well. This ensures a sustainable future for the environment of Karinga, its precious and rare flora and fauna, and a brighter, richer future for the people of the village as well. This is the bigger picture when it comes to ABS, the fair and equitable sharing of bioresources for the betterment of humanity and the world at large.